Hi there, good morning. Welcome to today's midweek market analysis. So as usual, we're going to start off with the dollar index over here. So we did get a pretty impulsive follow through from the dollar since post NFP. We can see this is basically still a very impulsive move to the downside. So our primary target right now would be an equal leg of 1:1, essentially from this high here to this low. Then we simply measure this as a 1:1 move. We'll get around 100.80. And that's going to be our primary target for now. So any form of corrective pullback over here can be seen as a short opportunity with a target around 100.8. And of course, when price tag this, we'll be aware that there may be a possibility of a retracement soon, right, or a bigger kind of bounce. Another thing to note, of course, is later today we do have a CPI data coming in. That's going to be very important because my take over here is if CPI is able to drop quite significantly from a previous month of 4%, if this month you can come out around 3 something, 3.1, 3.0, then there might be a catalyst to push the dollar continuing lower, simply because then the Fed may not be requiring to maybe hike rates 2 times, or even they might not even hike it anymore. Okay, so overall, from a technical point of view and potentially from a fundamental perspective, we may be seeing the dollar weakness continuing for some period of time. Now, with that said, if you translate it to the euro-dollar currency pair, we don't really see a strong move to the upside, but we do still see a very clear impulsive move on euro-dollar. Now, we are getting pretty close to this target here at 1.1060. So you need to then factor in, any kind of pullback. Is it worth taking this buy trade, right? Of course, if you're more of a short term, it makes sense. If you're more of a swing trader, then you just want to be maybe a bit patient to see if you want to capitalize on that, or maybe just wait for a better opportunity to get involved in the trade. But overall, euro dollar here, what we're seeing is primarily this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course this is a simple pullback. Then this may start a new wave. Maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So basically we're bullish on that. Now the other scenario over here, the alternative view is that this can be wave 3. This here can be wave 4. Then we're seeing just the completion of the 5-wave move. And if that's the case, then of course this pullback here may come down a little bit deeper. Okay. So really depends on how price is going to react around that 1.1060. Okay, that would actually give us some clue as to, are we seeing just a 5-wave move, or is this a new wave to the upside, right? So in any way, I think there will be some reaction potentially around that area at 1.1060. Okay, so no matter how we see it, that would be our primary target for now. And once it tagged this, if you have any buy, would suggest you maybe at least take partial profits and then take a look at how market's going to react from there on. Then we have GBP USD. Pound dollar is still going up pretty strong. We kind of tag this 127 extension. So for me personally, I'll just maintain a pretty neutral perspective. Okay. The idea here is I'm not so keen in buying up here unless we can't get a decent corrective pullback. Then we'll continue to look to buy. But for now, this is definitely an impulsive move. We are also seeing a pretty clear 5-wave structure here. So I'm not too keen to get involved in the buy yet. Okay, I'll be looking at observation. Of course, if we get a correction, as I mentioned, we'll look for buy. If this starts to just do a V-shaped rejection, okay, and any form of corrective pullback here, then will be a very decent sell opportunity. Okay, so I'm neutral on this. We just need to give it some time, see how the market is going to develop. Aussie dollar is also pushing a little bit higher right now. Okay, we are still in this zone around 6710 to 6735. We want to observe how the market is going to react from this area. Now, if you can get a tiny bit of rejection over here, then this will be a good opportunity to look for sell. Now, if you don't get that, and price just continue basically push off, and then ends up somewhere there, then we'll likely not be interested in selling. Okay, but we'll be looking at maybe more upside in the near term with a target at the top. Okay, so just be aware of some of this here, like pound dollar, Aussie dollar. We're kind of at a have a key zone, I would say, and you just want to give it a little bit more time and see how price is going to react before committing to any potential trades that you're going to get. Okay, so Aussie dollar here, do keep an eye on. If let's say, you know, in a couple of hours we can't see a rejection, then that would be a potential sell trade opportunity for us. Dollar CAD is neutral as well, because you can see here we're basically at this zone. We have completed a very nice 1, 2, 3. Last week we kind of talked about this here as well, and then of course we kind of get a nice little rejection from this top, right? So basically we had a buy. For me, I kind of took this buy here as a breakout. Okay, very nice little run. Kind of took profit here, and then markets just reverse, right? So right now I'm neutral. Okay, the idea of this is because most of the time you can't see a 3-wave move and then market pull back somewhere around 50 and 618. Sometimes it can bounce, right? So I won't be like buying here, I won't be selling here right now, but we'll observe, right? Of course, if again this starts to pull down impulsively and then does a correction, then this suggests more downside. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, just wait out. I think some of this major pair, Aussie dollar CAD, just give it some time. Okay. The yens are moving. Okay. Not only from a technical point of view, you can see very extended move to the upside, so we're basically pulling back. But at the same time, we also have some potential fundamental news where Bank of Japan may start to shift their fundamental point of view and even consider dumping the negative rates, right? So that is actually strengthening the yen from a fundamental and sentiment point of view. So you can see this is definitely impulsive. Any form of corrective pullback naturally will be a sell opportunity for the dollar yen, right? So I'm not interested in the buy for dollar yen. In fact, most of the yen pairs here, we're just interested in selling it. Okay. Gold. Okay, gold is getting very close to our zone around 1945, 1955. So if we get a corrective crawl, okay, which means slow move to this area, and then we can start to see some kind of a rejection. Again, that will be a very nice little sell trade back to the previous low at 1892. Now, similar to Aussie, if let's say we can't get an impulsive break above it, okay, then we'll be updating the view. Any form of pullback here would then be a buy, right? Then that would change the label here as well. Instead of WXY, this may be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we're getting close to this zone. I think within this week, we may get some more data and information from price development as to are we going to be looking at buy or potentially continue to the downside, right? Give it some time, get some clarity of it. Crude oil is basically still bullish overall. We kind of broke that channel, pretty impulsive here. So any form of corrective pullback can be seen as a buy trade opportunity. I think this one quite straightforward, right? Direction is basically up. S&P here, I'm still basically expecting a little bit more of a downside to complete a bigger structure. Now, if market comes down and break this low but doesn't really tag this, we can still see this as a correction here and start to bounce, right? The idea is overall equities, we're bullish on it. It's just a matter of like which are the better point in which we can get involved in the buy, right? So are we going to look to buy somewhere here or we're going to look to buy somewhere there? But overall, we're bullish on S&P and general equities in the US, okay? Bitcoin. So Bitcoin over here is doing its consolidation. You just need to be patient. We're bullish as well simply because of this impulsive move. This is corrective in nature. Suppose this come down correctively towards like 29,300 level. That will be a decent buy opportunity for BTC. Okay. So I think generally there are a couple of opportunities that's worth noting. Okay, some of them are in the key zone area already. You just need to probably give it another couple of hours, or maybe by the end of today, you kind of get some clarity in terms of do you focus on the buy or do you focus on the sell? Okay, do we get the setups? Yep. So that's all from me. All the best to your trading for this week. Just take note that we do have some potential news coming in today as well, right? From the CPI US as well as Bank of Canada. So if you're trading any related pairs on this, just take note of the potential volatility coming in. Okay, so that's all for me. All the best, and I'll see you guys in the next one.